but I would say, and honestly, even if you're in retail now, you're like, all right, I've paid my dues. Like now I'm ready to, I'm ready to move on. My advice would just to always be curious and to be a lifelong learner, to always look to have transferable skills, because I think when you break down what you do on the day to day as a retail pharmacist, I mean, it really is important, and it's a lot, and it takes the art of communication. And so I think this just really writing down your transferable skills. And when you write those skills down, you figure out which ones do you really enjoy. Like if you love the communication part of those transferable skills that you've written down, you really like that. Then now you have to decide, okay, what else can I do with that would kind of bring me joy? And you just go from there, and you just kind of really just trying to like structure and web out things that bring you joy and those skills that you have. And a lot of times it's the skills that come effortlessly that will probably end up bringing you the most joy, because it's your gift, right? You don't really
Yeah.
have to work as hard for that. So when you write that down, I mean, sometimes writing is power, because you see it on paper and you're like, okay, now what? So then you just go from there, and you just figure out, okay, what can I do where I can use this skill? And that's where I think, those words that were told to me when I was at that symposium really do come back even to this day and resonate, that we could choose so many different career paths. I mean, we could touch like really every field as a pharmacist. And
Hmm.
sometimes some of it we don't even know, from pharmacy law to retail to clinical to, working in the pharmaceutical industry. But then once you get into the pharmaceutical industry, there's different things within the industry, right? So
Yeah.
I think just kind of being curious and figuring out what your skill set is, and then going from there and figuring out, okay, so what can I do with this? And I think our profession as a pharmacist is one of the best to be able to do that, because you really can continuously reinvent yourself. Like I've worked as a clinical pharmacist. I've, worked as a medical information specialist. I've worked on the commercial side, and now, in pharma again on the medical side and medical affairs. So it really just goes to show how true, that is, and how true it holds that as a pharmacist, you really can choose so many different career paths. And sometimes all at the same time. I mean, hey, you could be a consultant pharmacist and still,
Yeah.
work retail, right? So it's
Yeah.
it's just the power of being able to do so many different things, and sometimes all at once. So just really honing in on what you feel like your skill set